Hi, I'm Cindy Cromwell, the principal of Butler Acres Elementary School in Kelso. And I'm here today to give you 5 tips on how to get your 5th graders ready for 6th grade. Number 1, start with the end in mind. Make sure that those 5th grade teachers have a very clear understanding of what 6th grade is going to look like for their students. Not only with those academic standards, but that necessary level for independence. And once they have a clear understanding of what that's going to be, and they know who their students are, make sure you build in those scaffolds. My teachers will often be telling their students, remember, when you're a 6th grader, you're going to have to be monitoring your own AR goals. Or when you're a 6th grader, you're going to have to be monitoring Skyward and figuring out what your grades are, and if you have any missing assignments. Remember, we want to build in those scaffolds so students can be ready on day 1. Number 2, create intentional opportunities to build relationships. Invite that middle school team to come and be a part of projects or special assemblies that you might have with those 5th graders. How about invite them to come on down to a PTO or a PTA meeting, just so that those families can get their questions answered. It's really important to do that, especially with those first-time middle school families. And in the springtime, when you're starting to introduce students to that elective process at middle school, have the counselors come and actually let the kids get their hands on those music instruments if that's an option for your students, or see products that the wood class might be making. It's all about that intentionality. And don't forget to invite those administrators at the end of the year 5th grade assemblies or ceremonies that you might have. Number 3, collaboration in program design. When those 5th graders, when we're building those IEPs or those 504s, or even doing evaluations or reevaluations, make sure you include that 6th grade team. They will be responsible eventually to carry out any accommodations or interventions that you put in that plan. It's important that they're there at the very beginning. In the springtime here in Kelso, we host a special education transition meeting. And what that basically means is us as the sending school, we meet with that GQP team of the receiving school, and we go through every single IEP side by side. We look at what's necessary for their success, looking at minutes, again, all of those accommodations that they need. It not only benefits the receiving school so they can start wrapping their minds around what programs need to be in place, but it helps those counselors as they're developing those master schedules. Number 4, tours. In the springtime, make sure those 5th graders get to go to their future school. Let them walk the halls, see classes, get to see some familiar faces. Get them some face time with those administrators, or especially those teacher or student leaders that might be there. Anybody that will be able to support them those first 2 weeks of school. Remember though, kids' number 1 concern that they have as they transition are those lockers. So give them time to actually put their hands on a locker, try to open it, close it a couple times in practice. And for those students or families that have some anxiety or transition difficulty, provide them with additional opportunities for those individualized tours. Number 5, have a heads-up meeting. Not only should your counselors be talking to the other counselors, especially regarding students that they see on an everyday basis, those kiddos deserve to have a safety net on day 1. But as a principal, I need to be having conversations with those principals. Many of my students I've had for up to 6 years, and I need to be able to meet with them to talk about discipline, attendance, behaviors, things that I've learned along the way. I also should probably share with them combinations of students that work really well together, and maybe some of those combinations that we should be avoiding. It's important that I give them a heads up. Remember, our responsibility is not only to get our students ready and our staff ready, but those administrators too, and the families. They're all very important. In conclusion, I hope that these 5 tips will help you and your students transition very successfully to 6th grade. But remember, once they're ours, they're always ours, no matter where they might go. We're in this together. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me.